What kind of a country do you want to live in? Do you want there to be rule of law? Do you want criminals to have, let's even reduce it more, even a little, some fear or no fear? Here's an important story because we're talking about the unequal application of the law.
Right.
And I know that hopefully I've driven this point home and you are able to go forward and argue this. So, you remember the story, Penny?
Yeah.
Right, Daniel Penny. This is the guy in the subway who you probably know. Was he a sergeant?
I don't remember his
Was he a
rank.
Marine? I don't remember his rank.
He was a Marine. I know that much.
He was a Marine. Yeah. So, the Marine Penny, you know of that story on the subway. Okay, but on Thursday, Jordan Williams, this guy was a suspect in another subway self-defense case, was released. And by the way, no bail was required. Here's a clip.
Jordan Williams was charged with manslaughter, but the judge decided he wasn't a flight risk and allowed him to go home. The judge even told Williams in court, quote, "I think you have your whole life ahead of you and every reason to fight this case." I
don't know that he's not a flight risk because that guy looks like he has hang time.
Yeah, I was going to say 4-3.
But here's the truth. Exactly. By the way, I support this guy. Just to be, let me give you a breakdown of Jordan Williams versus Daniel Penny. You all know about Daniel Penny. That was May 1st. Okay, right. Daniel Penny was the Marine who choked out the ex-con Jordan Neely right on the subway, who was threatening train riders. Okay, that story went everywhere. Right, exactly. On June 13th, Jordan Williams.
Juneteenth?
Yeah, the real Juneteenth. Not when all the shootings happened. Yeah. Jordan Williams, the person you just saw, stabbed an ex-con named, I hope I have this right, DeVictor Ouedraogo.
Yeah, you don't want to fuck up that. You don't want to offend a rapist.
Don't worry, he's not going to care.
Who was threatening train riders, including, by the way, that man's girlfriend. Now, they both happened on a New York City subway train. They were both unprovoked. Those men, right? These people were harassing riders. Okay, so these were men who were not provoking the attackers both times. So they're as close as you get. New York City subway, someone harassing riders, threatening them.
May, June.
They both have confrontations. Daniel Penny subdued the threat with a chokehold applied improperly. Let's give them that. Okay. Jordan Williams subdued the attacker with a knife.
Who punched his girlfriend in the face, they said.
Right. I don't know if that's fully true, but I do know that he was at least threatening the girlfriend.
Yep. Right.
Okay. Either way, I'm fine with it. So now we look at how the law was applied. Daniel Penny, $100,000 bail. Okay, Jordan Williams, no bail. With the judge saying, I think you have your whole life ahead of you. I think you have every reason to fight this case. By the way, I'm not complaining about this. I am glad that is happening. I just wish that it was applied equally.
Yeah.
I think that you need to have people who are not afraid to defend themselves and the most vulnerable around them when that situation comes up. Now, of course, not only the judicial application, but there's the court of public opinion, which, by the way, can destroy lives in far more pervasive ways, as we've discussed. Daniel Penny, case was all over the media. Of course, you know that. Everywhere. Right? The media even published these puff pieces on the victim, Jordan Neely. Remember saying he was just the sweetest Michael Jackson impersonator.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I don't think makes the case that you think it makes.
No, it doesn't.
Like if he exclusively impersonated Michael Jackson, was he Daniel Day-Lewising it? We still come to the same problem. Jordan Williams, case was nowhere to be found. We searched.
Wow.
0 results. With a lot of, I don't remember which one had officially 0 results. I know MSNBC, I don't know if CNN had 0 results. HuffPo, nothing. Washington Post, nothing.
Jeez.
Right? And where there was some coverage, the headlines, by the way, were more favorable. This even comes from, if you look at this, Fox News, New York Post, local news headline, alleged harasser with prior rap sheet killed by rider. So here's the thing now.
What a different headline.
Yeah. Almost everything else is the same. It's very rare that you get within a month, 2 months of each other, okay, subway situation where a man is harassing riders, the attacker, the assailant, gets killed. One is a choke, one is a knife. And then you have the application of the law, widely different as far as their application, and the media addressing in a wildly different way. Both of them were charged by the way, again, New York DAs, manslaughter charges. You're even dealing with similar charges. It's not like one is first-degree murder, one is manslaughter. Look how differently they were treated by the media, by the courts. And I know you're asking, okay, Daniel Penny versus Williams, what is the difference? And this matters because if you are going to be defending yourself, well, you need to take the appropriate steps. And we found this instructional before it's time.
When subduing a violent assailant on the subway, it's imperative that you follow these simple steps. Step 1, always be aware of your surroundings. Step 2, look for patterns or irregular behavior to assess threats. Step 3. Once a threat presents itself, attempt to de-escalate the situation before engaging the potential assailant. Step 4. If a physical altercation is unavoidable and imminent, engage swiftly and in the most effective manner possible. Step 5. Be black. Step 6. Always be black.
That seems useful.
Any of you had anything you want to add?
I can't believe it. No, that's the only difference. That's the only one thing. Really quickly, the second guy, the man who was black, I think in one day raised $71,000 for his legal defense. I'm not sure what Neely has.
Penny.
Sorry, not Neely. Has
Penny choked
raised,
Neely. Williams choked the
lots of vowels. Yes. No, I understand. I don't understand how you can have a judge do one thing in one case and do something completely different in another case. It absolutely defies logic to me. And this is the problem. Like I just said it a minute ago. Like you just saw unequal application of the law. Mm-hmm. Very, very clearly. You're seeing it again. Not only that, it's the media ruining somebody's life.
Yes.
Without any context to the story saying, oh, this shouldn't have happened. This was a white man that killed a black man.
Right.
And then you have somebody saying, oh, well, yeah, absolutely. This guy there's an attacker on the subway and he defended people. Well, that's exactly what this other guy did.
Right.
And he did that.
Yeah.
He should be hailed as a hero.
I'm a supporter of both.
Yes, I'm a supporter of both as well.
Supporter of both.
At a minimum, the black guy should have been treated the way Penny was and vice versa.
Right.
Right. Excoriated.
Your first
in the media.
instinct is to stab somebody to death. That's a lot different than getting somebody in a chokehold.
When you're
That's
trying,
right,
you're absolutely trying to diffuse the situation.
Yeah, that's how you
without
defuse
violence.
it. Whip out a knife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Fucking-
When you throw that wrinkle in, Nick.
I've yet to see a guy with that haircut do anything good in his life.
Penny.
Case
That's what I meant.
closed.
Penny was trying to defuse the situation.
But that being said, if he was hitting his girlfriend, I think that, look, it comes down to a simple question. This is reductive. Sure, it's reductive. Do you want to live in a society? Let's make it even more clear. Do you want to be on a subway car, on a subway train, where the criminals are more afraid of you than you are of them, or vice versa? Because you have very simple decisions to make. Time and time again, criminals come back when they say, well, what we fear most when invading a home, for example, is a dog and a gun, or not knowing where people are carrying.
Right.
That's what they fear. Do you want to live in a society where, because you're going to have, by the way, you're going to have some wrinkles, you're going to have some bad shots, you're going to have some situations where someone gets it wrong. But do you want to live in a society where you have criminals who fear some kind of, you're a criminal in New York. Let's say New York, or you're a criminal right now in San. Let's look at the actual world we live in, or at least with these cities. You're in New York, there's no cash bail. You commit a violent crime, you're out free, and you can do it again. Some people have committed dozens of crimes, including violent crimes. By the way, Neely amongst them, to be clear. Okay, what stops you from doing it again? And let's add drugs to the mix. Hey, we know that that's not really applied equally because we just saw what happened with Hunter Biden. Let's take someone who has a history of violent crime, it's a revolving door like Elf, no matter what it is that you do, toss in drugs to the mix and put him in a loaded subway car. Do you want a world where that man lives in no fear whatsoever, or at least is given some pause? Because right now, New York is a place where these people are not afraid. San Francisco, Oakland, these are places where they are not afraid. You have to understand their mindset. You are nothing but a useful satchel of change and or goods to them, and New York has a decision to make. I think that both of these men should be treated the same. I don't know the entire circumstances. I know that if the judge said, hey, you're good to go, regardless of race, there must have been something going on that was significant. But we also know that happened with Neely and with Penny. So sure, the racial element does matter here. It is racism, without a doubt. It does happen in our judicial system across the board. What kind of a city do you want to live in? What kind of a country do you want to live in? Do you want there to be rule of law? Do you want criminals to have, let's even reduce it more, even a little, some fear or no fear? Because in these cities, they live with no fear. Only you do.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.